Aloha, my name is Lei Wann. I'm from the Limahuli Valley here in Hāʻena. We're the descendants of the last Oahi bearers. My ancestors have been here taking care of this valley for at least 500 years. And we still gather in traditional ways. So today we're foraging for foods just as my ancestors did. This plant here is taro, Colocasia esculenta. In Hawaiian we call it kalo. It is our main staple for our Hawaiian people. It is a complex carb, brings lots of nutrients to your diet. It's said that it's our older sibling. Back in the times when the earth was being formed, there was Earth Mother and Sky Father. Earth Mother was Papa Hanaumoku. And Papa Hanaumoku and Wakea separated for a while. Wakea goes with the stars, and from their relations, she becomes pregnant. And her first child was a stillborn child, born in the fetus, in what we call a waiapo. And so they took him and buried him in a wall on the eastern side of their house. And where he was buried grew a taro plant. They watched and identified him as Hāʻalua Nakalau Kapalili, the long stem plant who flutters in the wind. And that was the oldest child of theirs. Time went on and she became pregnant again, and their second child was born into the world, and things were healthy and fine with him. And as he grew, he would often go to his older sibling in the wall, the taro plant, and after a while he noticed, oh, if I cook the leaves, they're good to eat. Oh, if I cook the corm of this plant, it's good to eat, and it makes me strong and I have strength. It's a complex carb. The leaf has lots of good nutrients, such as it's very high in iron and vitamin A. So he noticed, I feel good when I eat him. And he started to take care of that plant. And he noticed when he took care of it, it got bigger and more keiki would grow. And in return, his older sibling was taking care of him. And so started this relationship between humans and this plant. And so we still acknowledge today this plant as our older sibling. And when we take care of it, it takes care of us. So today we're going to harvest him, and through harvesting we're keeping his life going, keeping Hāʻalua Nakalau Kapalili alive, keeping our older sibling alive. So I'm gonna harvest it and get in the patch here. You know, seeing that it's our older sibling, we don't treat it any sort of way, you know, like and start pulling at it. We're very cautious about the way we harvest and care for this plant, as it's a part of our genealogy, our mo'oku'auhau. So what I'm doing is I'm breaking up his roots. Just kind of loosen them when I stomped over here. Kind of pull off all what we call the hulu hulu. And it'll be this corm that we will eat. This plant also makes the dish we love to eat, poi. Some people say it's an acquired taste. A part of why it's acquired is we do let it kind of ferment a little bit. And that fermentation creates a probiotic, just like the expensive ones people buy in the store. We get it naturally from this plant. We here at Limahuli farm the traditional varieties that arrived with our ancestors on canoes. When you're out in the wild, just be careful of what you harvest, because Sometimes people plant ornamental taros in the wild, and though you can eat them, some are very itchy. They have crystals, calcium crystals in them that can make your throat really itchy. So try to stick to ones that are cultivated and that you, again, know where they came from. You can kind of tell the real ornamental ones. They oftentimes have pretty colors and variation and variegated like leaves, and are really nice to look at, but definitely not your best taro to eat. In the first couple months and first stages of their growth, their leaves will get really big and nice and green and full, and then they'll start to kind of decline and kind of come down, and they'll work more on making their corm really big, and they'll put a lot of energy into growing the corm. And at the final stage, you'll see it really decompress and come very small and short, and that's when you know and kind of see like the corm pushing out of the water, and you know that they're ready to go. So generally, taro takes anywhere between 9 to 12 months in a taro patch. Sometimes some varieties like to take a little bit longer. You can harvest taro early if needed, you know, if you're really hungry. It's not like it's going to be toxic to harvest it early. So you can grow taro dry land, or you can also grow taro wet land like we do here. And Kauaʻi, we have lots of rain, so we grow them in primarily in agricultural systems like this, what we call lo'i, which are irrigated fields fed by water. Here in this valley, these terraces are anywhere from 400 to 1,200 years old. So this exact terrace that I'm pulling from has been here for many generations and has been farming taro for a long time. So.